क्या हगे
Be
है
enthused, but don't look too amused. This is her queendom, please respect her rule. Hurry up quick, and Hef is coming soon. Sit up straight when she enters the room. Be enthused, but don't look too amused. This is a queendom.
They're coming out of the pages here with these stories, Asarai, as we are back with game number 2. Welcome back, guys. Dax here with Asarai, and we are witnessing Griffin Esports get that 1-0 lead over Global Esports. And again, this is a squad that has been looking for the opportunity to prove themselves to the regional stage, and Griffin Esports right now looking primed and ready to keep on fighting and to keep on clashing, trying to punish the mistakes that Global Esports may end up committing along the way.
Yeah, Sufat Bibi at the helm, getting so many multi kills each and every round. That means that when they have like a Sage, he can always have his ultimate up and running to get those resurrections and again just equalize whatever Global Esports were willing to trade for. But it always seems that they never really needed to do so because there was I guess we just have to say it, Dax, there was a lot of hiccups there for the Global Esports team. It felt like one player wanted to do one thing and the other player wanted to do a different thing. And it just did not work out against Griffin Esports that were playing very, very coordinated, especially on that first map.
Yeah, it might be right individually, but is your team there ready to back it up? Is your team prepared for that kind of play? And it felt like the problem for Global Esports was a lack of sync along the way, especially for a roster that has been together for so long already. In the meantime, well, Griffin Esports, we did tout them to have that core still intact, a new addition, yes, here in the form of attention especially, but beyond that, that teamwork, just the synchronicity really of Griffin Esports was one of the biggest reasons why they could keep playing their style. And many times if you just look at the scoreboard, it's either one after the other, or in specific cases it was simultaneously them getting the kills. And I think that was the biggest indicator of how close they played with one another.
Man, it really was. They just had trades after trades after trades, and again, we weren't really expecting this too much from Griffin Esports, but not because we didn't have faith in them, but because we just didn't have that much data. But now, at least pertaining to that one game, we can see already that there is that how do I say this, polish on the Taiwan Hong Kong region, and it is looking really good and well enough that it can again face up against some of the South Asian teams that have joined here for APAC LCQ. That being said, though, that was Icebox. This was a map that historically Global Esports just does not play well. They got 13-0'd here by Paper X way back during APAC LCQ. And maybe the curse still lingers. But coming into this Haven map, different regime. We'll see how that follows through.
Yeah, it's been a struggle for Global Esports on Icebox. They haven't won Icebox at all for the whole year so far, losing twice to Velocity, once to Enigma. But you mentioned it, we're now moving into our second map. And once we get into Haven, that's where we've seen Global Esports succeed on the world stage, where we've seen them in the LCQ pop-off, go for amazing plays for the likes of SK Rossi and more. And I really feel like that it's a map that, since Global Esports is more tested, especially on the global stage right now, it can help them out immensely in making parity against Griffin.
Well, we'll see how that kind of pans. I'm wondering as well how well the sync for Hellranger and SK Rossi are, because usually I remember seeing Global Esports way back play with these two, with utilize these two players, excuse me, really, really well, where they kind of double up with each other, and it works so well for the global roster. But now it just seems like they're just playing to anchor both sides and try to use their presence to cover the whole map. But I guess against a team like Griffin, it just doesn't work. It feels like it's struggling for the most part here. But again, they might need to kind of check themselves on that regard and kind of pull themselves back, because we saw that one round where SK Rossi and Hellranger were at the same spot, and it looked at least the most stablest of rounds for Global, at least when they were looking to defend the sites.
Yeah, and just hasn't that been the problem of global esports? That adaptivity against a different kind of playbook, with their struggles in SEA are already put in the statistics in the first place. And fact of the matter is, they're seeing Griffin Esports play in a style that they don't expect, that they don't really have the answer from the get-go. And instead of trying to adjust on the fly as a team, they have these individual answers to them, and they can be right if they only get the follow-up. So that was the big problem. You gotta give it to Griffin, and you can really see that this is a squad that has many different faces, but one that always has their fangs bared all the freaking time. I just can't believe that you have someone that effective like Sufat Baby. He can play whatever the hell he wants. We've seen his agent pool to be vast. And looking at some of the stats from the last game there, I think he had around a 95% kill participation, basically. He was always there to fight global esports. He was always a factor in pretty much every single scenario. Well, the factor is now we're going to be getting the agent's leg, and let's see what these guys are going to bring to our second map.
Haven, the 3 site map. No, there's no such thing as site map. We'll see how this.
It's a different kind of word.
Yeah, I know, right? Totally, exactly.
Learn your English, Asarai.
I'm trying, all right? English broadcaster, by the way, not like this. Oh, okay. Griffin. Okay, I say this is a standard comp already on the new patch for global esports. Also going to be looking at somewhat of a standard. I think the only difference here would be the Sentinels with Killjoy for Griffin and the Cypher on the global esports roster.
Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen Ace play an Omen before on the circuit. I know he's played the Astra. There are those times where they do swap on that. It's one more control with, well, their Sentinel player to play that controller instead. But this is going to be a very, very interesting variation. That's what we always say about Griffin right now. This is a new patch, and especially when you have such a wildcard team in a more stable patch before getting into APAC, then things are going to be even more interesting, to say the least, as they bring it out. But really, it's the dawn of the omens yet again here, Astra. It's like we're back to the pre-Astra meta. When it's out for the smokes, go for the omen to play it out.
Yeah, again, that just gives you so much fighting power, especially on Haven, because, again, the Paranoia was utilized before as a push tool onto the side. There's a lot of angles that actually get hit on sites with the Paranoia if you time it correctly with the push and double up with breach fault lines. This could really become an explosive second map. And the word that you mentioned, Dax, on Icebox, Scrappy, could could Pokevolve, could Digivolve in the second map and maybe turn into Scrapyard Wars, maybe? What do you think?
What? What are you trying to... Yes, it's gonna be scrappier. I think that the series will be defined by the duels. What kind of words are you making up?
Hey, Scrapyard Wars is a thing.
Okay. That's my bad then. I'll check it out later on. But the thing is, you have the flash dash capabilities on both sides, and I still have flashbacks on the global esports 8 takes against green squads. The thing is though, there is just that different kind of lethality right now from Griffin, and if they're in position to go for those duels and you don't get the setup correctly here for global esports, then the hot hands of Griffin, they're gonna be shooting down any kind of efforts from global esports whatsoever. But here we have it now. This is match point for Griffin Esports. If they get this map, Global need to win this to force out a game number 3. We are just on our second day of the play-ins. Only 2 series for the day. Tomorrow, it will be quite a long haul because we'll get our eliminations. We'll get our first entries into the final slots of the group stage. But beyond that, guys, time for us to get into the matchup yet again. SK Rossi though off to, well, a very speedy start. There we have the full-time thrown out as well by Hell Ranger. Guiding Light though is a cult. Quick ambitious speaker from attention. Forced to dash on away though, and the scrappiness truly will come out in full force here, Asarai.
And he has no fear here, and this is actually a really good thing. I thought that maybe he's gonna feel deterred from that last game, but he's looking convincing about charging in on these fights. Still, Griffin, of course, they play this cautiously and wanna hunker down on the A site. Does have attention, playing on short, and both of the flashers, actually the initiators, are going to be somewhere on A. So if they start coming in here, it is going to be Fung as well as Sufat that will play on the contact. How well can this Sheriff work out? This is good enough for the one, but as you can see on that kill feed, it seems like the plans of Global have gone down to the toilet as Skills, hello? That was kind of awkward. Anyways,
Ready for that.
Hell Ranger last on the board.
Comes out of the bathroom forgetting it's Hal and all, and
30 seconds
Global
left.
Esports just losing out the clashes all across the battlefield. There were just these individual duels that kept going in Griffin's favor, and it seems like it's flashbacks of the first map already. Flash does come, Paranoia doesn't get the connection. There we have the aftershock even, and look at the no fearness whatsoever for Fire Select. He goes through the aftershock, he rips out the frenzy, runs out the bullets, goes for the knife even, and Griffin, the audacity of the squad to keep on fighting. Well, they just have so much heart in them right now, Asarai.
Yeah, they're vibing as a magnitude 10.0. That's how hard their vibe is right now from what it looks like. And they're catching Global Esports. Like, again, they're not expecting one player to just be somewhere on short. That is very much a mortal sin. You gotta have to check your corners, and it seems like they did not. It's gonna be down bad for them. As now we do have the purchase power for Griffin and Select. He's done so much that he actually has a Phantom, but he is getting slowly but surely chased by the rest of the members, but he's going to be good for two. This is actually beautiful for them. SK Rossi hit by the Paranoia, can't see anything at all. Nothing at all.
Right there.
And happen to remain, just, again, trapped on C-Long here.
So difficult for Global here to snatch these opportunities, and oh, ace. Oh, ace. That's unfortunate, but attention is there, and this duel might go now. There you have it. Griffin will take the 2-0. But really, there's some opportunities that Global are making for themselves that could have been a Phantom in their hands if they just had even more of a commitment towards that garage. But Fire Select, he still got to. They still get the recovery of the rifle, and look at all of this. The attempt from Global Esports was there, but it's still Griffin shutting the door on them, and really, the scrappiness continues beyond that. It's Griffin right now, just having the unlimited confidence to make these plays work. You know, a while ago in that knife, I noticed also that Griffin just let him do it. Wire Select got on the inside, no help whatsoever, because they saw the reload and just like, you know, knife him, get that kill. Guns are out though for Global.
And he was doing that through his own teammates' aftershock, like literally no fear, and they were just betting on the fact that Hell Ranger would be panicking at that point, which he kind of was, to be honest, especially when there's like all these, for lack of a better term, diarrhea Christmas lights right in front of him.
Why are they not playing like play?
Yeah, because literally there was like all that flashy stuff thrown out in front of his
There's
face.
too many things in front of you. It's as you love to say, a smorgasbord of, well, colors. But you know, that rainbow connection, it was unfortunate, but now we're connecting back into the game as Global Esports. Both sides from TP through. Skills bothered though behind the turret. Oh, is there as well. And Griffin goes up, goes for first to get Wire Select, to get the 3, to get the 4! And it's just so neatly done here. They flap their wings and they just blow away the competition from that A side. And Griffin with a bonus.
Oh my gosh, they just given Select the keys to the city. Now has the lockdown. Look at this one. That flash was actually disgusting from his teammates. He gets the 4K, but his teammates get award for best assist on that one. So many flashes, Dax. Like, you can, even if you get smoked up as Fung, all you really have to do is check if the UI, the HUD for the flashpoint, was it for breach? The flash of breach. If it can go on the center of the site, it does, and then you can just control your birdie to follow up on the flash itself. Attention now brings up the operator to play, and it's good enough for the first kill on Hell Ranger.
That's 10 hot and over and out. Hell Ranger gone. Not only that, though, about Feng and Sufat, Ace has 5 assists. The paranoia was perfect for the final 2 kills by the default. And Global Esports, they were immediately in a Flores Lava situation there, thanks to the utilities of Griffin. Goludo, he's catching out Feng. Might as well try to go for that B site with the lesser buy. But here comes Myra Select again. Skills, though, picking up the rifle. At least shutting down Ace along the way, but the backstab is real. Fire Select gets another one. 2 for his trouble. Dark does come, gets broken there. Still the scan is real, but the alarm bot now knows that GE, the Global Esports, is going for that C site. One chance though, perhaps, maybe with skills. He has that Phantom. If he can play close enough to surprise the opposition, it can work, but Fire Select will scare him off, and the backstab is coming from Griffin yet again here. Duel in the back line here, Asarai.
Did Cap already give away his position? Well, regardless, Attention cannot lose this fight because he does have the operator. That's a big blow. Now, considering where the spike is planted, and do they have the smoker? They do not. This could actually be a thrifty round for GES if they can play this correctly. Kappa's now going to be swinging onto the left. They got to close the distance right now, but he's not allowing them to do so at all. Nothing at all. Sufat, good for the kill. Knows that one is onto the corner, but has to have the spike. Not going to happen whatsoever. And GE, not that GE, the other GE, Global Esports, finally gets themselves a round on the board.
Every single round, GE wins. We don't know which one, though.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, bro.
For Global Esports, that was a crucial kill from Kappa. They came in clutch for the team, even hit the shot onto Wire Select there. And that was just enough time. I like the foresight here, though, for Global Esports. They still wanted to go for that C-long hold, have the angle from afar, and when they were gifted an operator, they took advantage of that. But the op now rebought here by Attention. It might be a sniping battle between him and SK Rossi. Duel of fates and a duel of jets, perhaps. Spike, though, all the way in the middle, and you can see here for Griffin, they do want to try and anticipate a play. The breach already rotating towards the jet of Griffin. And Attention and Feng might make a play here very soon.
They're just waiting, at least for some contact as of the moment. This is kind of risky though, because Sufat cannot flash out for himself. He'll have to wait for a bit of contact first, but Hell Ranger is already prepared to set things up. But where was it? That was so late. Goal was already pushing up, and Hell Ranger kind of just
Flash होने तो दे भाई.
what? Did not use his flash to at least allow his teammate to peek. That is not the setup that they were looking for. And if they try to go for short now, because they don't got no more Golu, they're gonna get swung out by Attention here. And they're not. Yeah, they were. That drone was nowhere near peeking Attention.
Yeah, couldn't even find him there. But the Hell Ranger, at least going after Feng. Do have Attention now using his updraft to get away from the Hunter's Fury. This buy space. Global Esports to put that spike down. 3v4 scenario though. SK Rossi still with the operator. Close quarters here by A-side, so he has to be a bit more ambitious here and catch up one off guard. The blades though are coming. And the Rolling Thunder is there. Beautiful shot though from SK Rossi. Up close and personal. Looks for a second, but Wire Select. It doesn't actually connect. The shock dart now flies on by. There's the drop down. And here comes the push yet again. Kappa though gets on the board, but it's still Griffin with a swoop and the broom. 4-1 as the A retake works on out. And it's Griffin yet again soaring to even higher heights than before here, Asarai.
Oh my
Don't
gosh.
even start that shit here, mate.
Such a clean retake there for Griffin, just charging right out. They just charged right in. After that missed shot from SK Rossi on the second select, just no fear, started just running into it and making so that they can get as much map control and clear out the closer angles such as Graffiti and Hell, and it's worked out so well. Again, gotta give it though to Attention and actually the rest of Griffin as they just catch the lapses in terms of judgment here for Global Esports. That's literally as was happening. The setup's just not in tune, not in sync for the Global Esports team.
Yeah, and hasn't that been the story of Global Esports? Plans are K, lapses do happen, and jumping the gun there, not getting the peek onto the boxes whatsoever, punished immediately there by the Jets. Still, Global Esports now full hand, perhaps over that C site. Might as well try to play the hard aggress instead. You also have a hero rifle anyway for skills. They're going to be protecting this Omen as much as possible so you can try and find those takedowns. SK Rossi. The blades do come, but Hellranger taking so slowly, and Ace will get to take that paranoia to fend off the competition.
No
He
way.
comes Ace yet again to get a second one, and the shock darts are not going to be enough. Will Ace go for one more peak skills now with the wall bag though to get that takedown? And the Cyber Cage for the disengage, cutting the losses of Global Esports as it runs on down. It's 2 for the price of 1 for attention! Lining up easily for Griffin Esports. SK Rossi, the only one left. Tags a bit, but attention will still thread the needle to get the turn. And it's Griffin Esports making it 5-1. What a shot there, Asarai.
That is absolutely disgusting. And Ace, if we can probably get that replay rolling for him. Yeah, there it is. Look at this. The first kill wasn't the one that was amazing. The one that was amazing was he was here on logs. Everybody was looking at him, and he still gets away with bloody murder and a kill to boot as well. And Attention just kind of tops that off with a collateral, and this collateral to his own teammate. Well, this kid's be nutty.
And just Global Esports, they have these opportunities right in front of them. Why are they unable to seize it? We've seen their runs in VCC. We've seen how they are really one of the best teams from the South Asia region. But in all honesty, these are mistakes that shouldn't be happening. These are plays that shouldn't get more than 1, maybe even 2 kills from Griffin Esports. You gotta give props to Ace, yes, for the first log angle. But as soon after the paranoia couldn't get that second kill, he should be dead. And that has been the one phrase that we feel like in the back of our minds is happening right now. It should be Global Esports making this play work. It should be them capitalizing on these moments, but it's still not happening, and Griffin is the one who gets the punishes instead and gets the rounds because of it.
Man, they're just not able to get the value that they want to with what they are trying to do. Right? It's just been that over and over again, this dry spell for the Global Esports team. Just nothing is clicking at the moment, and it's been just whenever they try to take a site, whenever they try to get their hands, you know, a little bit handsy on the site, they just get slapped away. It's pretty difficult.
Look at this double, but so quick here from Griffin. And luckily, Global Esports is able to back on away. They're so willing to fight it out. Skills, though, deciding to take command of that A site up the tower. It might get the angle here. Drop down, though. Still can't get the kill. Finally, SK Rossi is there. But these precious microseconds that allows Griffin to reach their plan. They can really be deadly if they pile on up. Spike, though, planted. SK Rossi with another one. And things are looking better here for Global Esports. Fong, though, catching out Hellranger in response. SK Rossi now playing it close yet again. Worked out to the operator a while ago. Does so this time with the rifle. 3 already. Make that 4! And the SK Rossi show hunting down the targets. All left out to shoot at Bibi. Can he prevent SK Rossi from getting his ace? There's the confidence though to peek it out anyway. The Cypher goal will go down, but Skills will track him down and get that takedown. Finally, a more convincing round here from Global Esports, finding that small nook to go in with from the shadows and using it to take command of the site.
That was incredibly strong, especially that follow-up from SK Rossi as he becomes that smoke criminal here. Griffin just not expecting him to hold the angle for such a longer time. And he gets the value off of it, but yeah, definitely ignited by Skills, who literally just went up onto heaven, and Griffin just
Let it be.
just gave out the site. Yeah, they just let it be because they didn't have anything to kind of cover for that high ground.
Well, if Global Esports can get in a place that they're not supposed to be in, apparently they're not going to get caught out, and that can be their engagement point from there. But Ace up top, drops one down. Might be a little too ambitious though with that fall. And will Golu get that kill? Yes, he does. Making it 5v4. C-site now. It's going to be the place to be. Wide open here for Global Esports. And they also have the trip arts to try and at least fortify those lines. But ultimates are abound. Seekers and the Rolling Thunder to scare off Global Esports from setting up on the site. This prevents the spike from being planted. There is a bit of navigation here from the Killjoy War Select. And as we get Hellranger trying to make their own flank happen, it's still all up to the Killjoy getting value. 1-for-1 trade though. Global Esports now, they at least get the catch and go for the rotate. Perhaps Kappa falls all even. And there's still that staying power here by Global Esports, but they're the one who gets punished instead, Asarai.
Hellranger has snuck himself all the way with the back of the B site. I don't think they're going to expect this at all. That flash will find absolutely nothing. And he will be able to plant the Sufat. Is his fire senses tingling? No, it is not. That is incredibly huge. This leaves us into a 2 versus 3. Spike gets planted. Feng now aware of the back, but does he know the close right beside him?
Saw the gun.
One more holding the... Yeah, he did. Crossfire though to the right side. Oh, it's gonna be very risky. Is that gonna hit?
Successful.
Will he react? Oh
He
my
went after them
goodness!
first. That was just so smart from Feng. Left to right, had the intel. And everything now left to SK Rossi yet again. Spike though, timer is ticking. Maybe a single kill can help him out. Cloudburst is there though. The shot comes from attention instead. And that is how it's done. Griffin Esports says the timing was perfect and the angle was clear. It's 6-2. Thanks again to the pulls here by Griffin.
It was all just Feng fighting. Look at that.
Successful. One enemy
fighters.
remaining.
Yes, exactly. Feng fighters. His moves were fast as lightning, albeit a little bit frightening. He's a diamond in the rough, you know.
Lyrics aside, Griffin Esports, they're not just that gung-ho, you know. And we've seen a lot of their willingness to fight so early on. But in those situations, when they get that intel, they do have that solid decision making. He covered that right-hand side, helped at the push by a linked, and he knew it was just so easily bangable there at that the backside. Catch that Hell's Ranger in the first place, and
Oh, the
now
trap.
Griffin is not done. They get the 2-for-1 anyway. They do line on up, but doesn't matter. Still wire select for the takedown. And this will scare off Global Esports yet again to stay on their own side of the map here.
They don't really have that much firepower too. They did buy SK Rossi with the Vandal. Oh, skills. Beautiful jiggles into the back of the site. They're flashing it in. But there still is Select holding the fort there. Skills, can he actually get out of harm's way? He does! Beautiful stuff. Now we'll have the paranoia to delay even further. But now Feng comes right into the latest spike once again with the aftershock, but does not stop them from just charging right in. The paranoia now comes through from Skills, delaying even further. The Ace here, he's got his work cut out for him.
Great stall, even here from Global Esports with the utilities. 1-for-1 though, as Ace will get the takedown. Kappa will trade it out. And it's 2 versus 1 now on the other side. The graffiti though. Griffin, but Skills, he only needed a sliver of HP for the 3k thrifty there for Global Esports. Keeps them in the fight. When it does look like Griffin can start running away with this game again, here on the second map, there are just these moments of Global Esports that brings him back, and it is Skills that kills. He got the first against the operator. He made sure he wasn't flashed out after the second. And just the angles here in that 1v1 scenario. Very well played. This is why many fans of Global Esports look at the roster and say that if we can just get even more and more of that parity, when there's some players that's struggling, someone else steps on up. That's a case in point here. Skills right now giving Global Esports more of a breath of life coming into this game.
Now for the first time in forever, Griffin at the back end of being without credits, but that don't face nothing at all. Select has just charged right out of mid, finds another pick, and we're still at a 3, or rather the 3 versus 4 in favor of Griffin, but they did not pick up any weapons whatsoever, so they're gonna have to play this close and personal. It's not going to work. Ace, probably be a bit cheeky, but again, will not happen at all. Look at the 3 members remaining from Griffin. Stopped because of this tripwire. They cannot commit to this one. Maybe Kappa comes in, drops a spike, but that's not going to happen as well.
Yeah, it was like, it's just like, can I actually get under this? It's not going to happen for sure, but he wants to try. He wants to get as close as possible. And Global Esports, if they decide to go towards that C site, they are gonna get hit by some criminals there waiting by the alleyways. But then again, Global now unleashing the fault line.
30 seconds left.
This is gonna be the right call. Go towards that A site. They're running out of time anyway. Griffin is just scaring them off your ass, right? But beyond that, it's Global again taking advantage of the situation here. At the very least, so okay, Rolling Thunder on nothing. The third got bounced though.
Well, they won't find anybody here on the site itself, so...
They don't know, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's true. They were just being safe. Oh, okay. So Golu repositioned his tripwire to handle the lurk once more. And as they're making tons and tons of footsteps, as they push through B-Link here, or A-Link, they're just going to charge right in Attention does have the updraft. Actually gets tagged, I think, by the fault line, so he's still gonna have to charge into this one. Taps the spike, wants them to try to aggressively peek this, and he's coming down with a fury. Oh my gosh! Sufat! Woo! Again, Sufat comes out of the woodwork to save his team's behind over and over again, Dax. It's happened in Icebox, and it'll happen again here in Haven.
I bit my lip after that one. That was just crazy! Sufat did it! Look at that left to right!
And his face, too, on the
His
camera.
face says it all! It just stopped perfectly! Amazement! And just the mechanics of Griffin Esports. This is just a beautiful shooting range for Griffin right now. In Global Esports are looking to be the targets. What? That was a thrifty for a thrifty, basically. And now it's back to Griffin having a bit more of the advantage. Blades are auto and laser rifles here for Global Esports. Op now in hand, Cyber Cage to allow them to navigate towards that short side. Still though, Flash comes in. It's not gonna hit attention whatsoever. Gold falls for free, and now over to the sewer. Who will peek this one? Who will challenge the man of the hour attention? But Bibi don't hit by SK Rossi. Dash on in. Slot versus there. SK Rossi now slicing, dicing, and cutting up the members of Griffin towards that A side.
Incurred the wrath of SK Rossi here. Oh! That looked like it should have actually hit, but it did not. Fung has activated the ultimate. It did not face SK Rossi, but what it did was hit the rest of the team of Global Esports, where Select was lurking in the back. Picks up a nice little 2K. He's backing away, doesn't want to give Skills any form of map control right here. Skills can try to just move through as fast as he can, but Select is on the prowl. I will try to look as he tries to make waves across here.
Oh,
it does. Does damage.
30 seconds left.
Still a precarious situation here for Global. And overall in that round, Griffin at least able to unleash that Rolling Thunder in time. You mentioned it, the right click might have supposed to connect. Just didn't happen. And because Fung was able to use that Rolling Thunder, it prevented Global from pushing towards the site and putting that spike down. Now all is left to Skills. He has that from the shadows. Wants to play a cheeky angle if ever. Dark cover gonna get thrown on out. Where does he go? Right behind Fung. He knows. And Ace busy with the dark cover. Wrong hands, wrong utilities. Doesn't have the gun out. And it's 1v1 now. And Fung will be seen. Skills again. Able to get those kills. And the Vera Esports clutch goes to Global Esports. Skills right now. He is coming in clutch truly for Global Esports. When they need him in these situations, he is there for the team.
Always with the low HP, he makes it work time and time again. He really has stepped up here for Global, and this could actually make them a great argument of just being able to push this into a 7-5, which is, I'd say, a respectable round ender for the first half. We'll see how that kind of pans out. Attention already charging right in. Gets blinded, so he can't go much further than where his Cloudburst is. This means that Global Esports can now just do whatever the heck they want on the A site. Escarasa takes some damage, but again, he loves to go for this push. He loves to just play close inside that smoke. I think now Griffin are very much wary of it.
Aggressive plays have won the hearts of many of his fans, and just the willingness to fight. It's not really getting them the round wins as much as he would like. Seekers are out though, lockdown is there, and Griffin now unleashing all they can towards this A side. 4 of them, 3 of them rather. Only rifles. SK Rossi gold though. There's the 3K that we need for the side of Global. Hellranger on the board, scrapiness yet again. All left now to attention. He will back on the way for a bit of a reset, but SK Rossi does his job and gets in the face of adversity. 7-5 and more manageable now for Global to try and make that comeback happen.
Smells blood in the water. Interestingly enough, for Select there, was he afraid of being countered by the Aftershock as to why he put the lockdown very, very far from the regular spot that you put it? Because usually the lockdown would be licking up until A short, but it was not even reaching the middle of the A site. So I don't know if that was a misclick or something, but it really didn't phase Global Esports when they saw the radius of that ultimate of his.
Yeah, and because it was so close to the side of Griffin rather than Global, you can see as soon as it was gone, they got back the graffiti position, and as soon as that happens, Golu just easily mows down the entry points there of Griffin Esports. So we are seeing Global Esports get back into it. They still gotta give props to Skills overall. This has been one of those games again where he's the one who can be reliable. Yes, SK Rossi is at the very top, but who's winning the rounds here for Global Esports? It's that Omen, and they say it there in the BCC side, the South Asian side, that if it's not SK Rossi who's able to make the plays for Global Esports, it's either Golu or Skills. And man, this Omen, I'm just giving absolute props to those moments where he understands where to garner that intel and just how to play these spikes well even.
100%. He just... it seems like his game sense is working in overtime, and it has allowed a lot of clutch factor rounds here for Global Esports to keep them afloat, as you were mentioning it. That being said, is that actually going to be enough? It is close, but is this the saving grace here for Global Esports to push this into a third map? With all that being said as well, SK Rossi is not doing too bad here, riding on the hype that his teammates are giving to him. He's actually able to follow through all the utilities. It doesn't seem like he's just charging in by himself anymore, and he's working with the utilities of the initiators, which is at least panning out incredibly well for the Global Esports star player.
They got more space in the last few rounds of that first half, and it was case in point because SK Rossi was able to navigate through the utilities anyway, but he wasn't taken down early on. So at least Global there able to make sure that they had more of the map to work with. Griffin though still very scary. Wire select and attention absolutely popping off in this game. Big players really in this series. Just let's not forget Sufat Bibi, that transfer, it will be remembered for a long time, and how it was just played. But here we go, Asarai. Let's go for the P sites. And Griffin now, their combat is their game, and they're looking to take some names on the Global Esports side. Hellranger has to back on the way. Attention, though, stunned on up, and just a clutch moment there for the Breach to save his own life.
Wait, was it the stun from the Breach or their own Breach? Because that feels a little bit awkward, to be honest, because the angle didn't seem like it was properly placed. Anyways, could have been whatever. Fung and Yselect very low now in terms of HP. Hellranger capitalizing on that fact. And Ace, as he tries to just run away with the shrouded step, gets DE9'd. Sufat BB, last bastion of hope here, at least on the pistol. But Aftershock delaying him even further, and he cannot push through it, and that will give Hellranger the 4 freaking A. Gets it out in the end, and GES, they're here.
Hey, you changed that line.
Oh, I have to.
Yeah, that's true. Still be careful though. Griffin, just like Asteroid has to be careful, Griffin has to be careful. Third pulse of the Aftershock. Let's not forget, it's been a long time since it got changed on up, and Global Esports, they wanted the pistol, they get the pistol, and Griffin actually gonna go for a timeout. They felt the overrun there. Basically, they wanted to go after more of these, I'd say, backline players of Global Esports. You can see especially how they vied for that A link as much as possible, but it just didn't really pan out. And as soon as we got to the site, well, numbers were already in favor of Global. They swept on through from back of site, and that's the biggest problem right now of Griffin on a map like this. They're on eye spots. The angles can just lead you to catch out some of the players who set things up on other aspects of the map. But here on Haven, there are clear sightlines, yes, but there are also nooks and crannies where members like the Breach, maybe the Sova, maybe even, that Cypher, they can garner that intel, get those concusses on, and it can help out for Global Esports in stemming the push of Griffin overall.
We did mention this yesterday. Now I believe I was casting with Tash here, where the team that we casted before only really had, or did not have any Sentinels, so that really messed up the way that they would have gotten information and stopped the stemming of that opponent lurk, right? So Global Esports, they really do like how they have such a balanced composition here. It's sort of like Griffins, but just a tad bit different because of the Initiator and the Sentinels, but it still works almost similarly. In any case, now as we start this next round, Already good damage onto attention. Sifat does not have his heal up, so he'll have to play with this Marshall with a sliver right now as they try to look for something, using still attention's entry fragging prowess to get things working. But they try to look for B. There's absolutely nothing there that is waiting, except for maybe just a tripwire.
Yeah, and just to add on to your point there about the rosters right now, there's information that Global Esports can garner, and for the side of Griffin, there's oppression. You have that Killjoy, you have that Sky. Very, very intriguing on the combat, and especially on those post-plant situations. Start, though, will be broken. Will tell Kappa and the rest of Global Esports that they're already nearby on that A side. But Global Esports, they really do not want to lose this round. Look at the investment here, Asteroid, Bulldog, as well as for Spectres. Respect already for the Griffin Esports roster.
30 seconds
We'll
left.
see if Hellranger here can get some takedowns with that smaller rifle. Shot comes over onto Ace. This is 2 now away from that Rolling Thunder. Can help them out immensely. Kappa will try to hold the line wire. Select will get that takedown. And the Frenzy's making some noise. SK Rossi though on the other side. Pitch is real. SK Rossi win one already. Sufat though finds the answer in response. Time though ticking on away. Griffin has to stick this already. And Hellranger is not done. Time now for the postman, but skills comes on in. All left now to Sufat, baby. 1v2. Not the right gun to try and make the flicks work. And Global will tie things up. Not only that, here Asarai, Rolling Thunder is ready for the next few rounds.
It's going to be a strong ultimate to utilize. And Hellranger finding some success now as he switches up from that Omen to the Breach. This is working so much into his favor. His fault lines really have been on point, and his flashes also looking mighty fine, fantastic. Freak. Yeah, he just holds the angle here, stuns everybody. It was kind of awkward as well that he was just lurking for the late time at short, but I guess he wanted to make sure that nobody was going to come right behind him and steal away at his Bulldog, as well as his good positioning to keep the rest of the attackers inside of the site rather than being able to plant it at default and then playing crossfire both short and long. Works out in the end. Griffin now have their first buy round after the second half debacle, and well, they just do have or implement themselves the rifles for the moment.
That's right. This is the first chance Global Esports has to take the lead in this whole series. Can they do it here in bonus? But the tension just navigating on through. It's a 1-for-1 trade quickly. Kappa trying to hold things together, but doesn't expect Fung on his right. And it's Griffin right now playing well with the Griffin standard. So quick on the kills. One by one, the scoreboard lights up, and A-side is already there. Is all left now to Hellranger, but he can't even see the sights whatsoever. A quick win here from Griffin as soon as they get the guns.
Dude, SK Rossi had a judge on short. He had the prime position to make something happen, but he made the decision to try to push through a long, and whether that was the right or wrong decision, you saw how he got dealt with so quickly. Maybe if he stayed with his team on the site there, that could have worked. He would have not have known, but he tried to prolong the tried to lengthen the distance of the judge as he was trying to push through on long there, and got spotted, I believe, by Sufat BB, and that's the guy that you want to actually be facing against SK Rossi here, because on that Icebox map, he's been winning all of the duels that they've had.
Grounded.
Oh, there's another duel. This time it's by attention. How did he even find that frag? Well, sometimes miracles can be made by Missy. Not even here. No, I was just about to say miracles are made by Mitts, and this is just another mythical approach by Griffin. But sure, the answer's secret. Don't tell me. You know, don't let me know. Don't let the audience know what's going on. But Select right now, pressing start. Skills goes down. And this is just Griffin looks to mow down the competition one more time. Hellranger though will at least get the kill, and Griffin, they're not that bloodthirsty to wait. Wait. Okay, I thought they were actually gonna double back just to chase after someone else. But like I said, they want to put that spike down and secure this round as neatly as possible from this point onwards.
They've given Fung the plant as well, so that means that they have both of their initiators with ultimates. Kappa's used his recon dart, so that would just alert the rest of the Griffin squad where one player is. I mean, Kappa's just making so much noise. Well, let's see how this goes. I think they're also preparing for Golu to maybe intercept one, but he's not going to find Diddly Squat equipped with the Marshal and the Sheriff. Maybe he can make some waves here, but he doesn't have a lot of time. He tries to wiggle his way through short, Ace finds the final kill to give Griffin another round.
Yeah, and the announcer said his name, Team Ace. There you go.
Team Ace.
Team Ace. You can you can rarely make this kind of jokes with these kind of things, but this was a shot, and I am amazed. That was it. That was pretty much the biggest highlight of the round. Besides that, though, at least Global Esports navigating around the map to, at the very least, try and bother Griffin and maybe some of the exits. But this now, for Griffin on the attacking side, it's looking pretty scary here. Also,
Shot.
hey Ace, what happened to you?
That's SK Rossi, man. That's what happened. Yeah.
That's what happened. I was about to say Griffin, they look very ferocious. They look very scary on those initial duels on the offense. But it's a really good read right now by Global Esports. Put SK Rossi on that operator. He was starting to warm up. They're on Icebox. Hellranger also with the Rolling Thunder, and Griffin panicking right now to get on away. Unfortunately for Global Esports though, there's no real follow-up to get the peaks on as they back on out in the shock darts. It's a good lineup, and it could have gotten the kills. But GFN, they already were out there in the first place.
They didn't take much damage from that as well. They've healed up because of the regrowth from Seofat. And speaking of which, they still have the 2 Initiator ultimates, which is going to be incredibly good. If they can just close the distance first, Seekers will be a massive, massive help to clear up some angles here, especially when their Smoker is already dead. There, already started using it. He's going to try to clear out the rest of the site here. And attention charges right in through. There was the recon dart that spotted a couple, but it's not enough that anybody's going to be able to punish through all of that. Spike will get planted, but that does give the life of Funk here. How well can Attention get this trade? Not well enough, as I believe it was actually blinded by skills, and it's all left into Seofat BB. But can he turn into Seofat AA, because he's been double A performance in this one. Has to reload, but he stopped the plant, or stopped the defuse on the plant.
Oh, Global Esports, they played the game of keep away there. They weren't too ambitious to go over that B side. They knew they had the operator anyway, and they primed it at the right time, especially with things like the paranoia, just to bother those kind of fights on the other side. So it's like C-Link is still linked up to A-Link anyway, thanks to utilities. And Hellranger, he's finding his form more and more in the second half. You mentioned that a while ago, he had that earlier Rolling Thunder. Seofat did get a takedown onto Golu. But besides that, just the numbers here for Global Esports. And this is now the right configuration to deal with Griffin. It's Griffin who has to find the answer instead. And their, at least, solution here will be that operator in the hands of Attention.
Are they going to put Attention on Long to maybe go against SK Rossi? Well, that's not the right Long where SK Rossi is, but... You know,
It's
they're probably
Kappa with the op, actually.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you're right.
Ooh,
Oh,
Kappa,
that's...
he lost the op now. That's painful. They wanted to make a play there towards Seaside. You saw how far SK Rossi went. Seems like he does have the plays available, but giving up that gun. Now it's range advantage here for Griffin. And when Global Esports takes the right step in the round prior to this one, it's Griffin getting the right situation into the next. Could have been a clash. Now it's 5v3, and the Trailblazer will scout things out and notice there's still players of Global Esports towards this A site here.
He was not baited at all for that. He just didn't want to commit the whole peak. Pre-firing and everything. SK Rossi, a demon with the blades. And there you have it. Ignites the flames with the first pickoff, but does get stunned with the fault line. Does not have a dash. Gonna have to try to go through this. He actually wiggles one with 16 HP to spare. This can still put a lot of strain for Griffin Esports. They do have 30 seconds. Selects Lurk actually gets spotted out. Now Griffin, they're gonna have to commit a lot more just to make sure that they can get the spike planted down. At least they will. And this is now left into Hellranger and Skills to make this work, but Hellranger is making a lot of waves on Garage here. The Skills, the last bastion of hope. He's been good on the first 2 clutches, but won't happen on the third, as Griffin had the 2v1 spray down against him as he wiggles, or as he pushes away out of the smoke.
Yeah, they were initially prepared for Skills in the first place. They were keeping an eye out over by that ceiling from the defense side. And as soon as they got rid of Hellranger, it was even easier. But Kappa, he has an op, but he had the bow and arrow out, not anticipating the push there from Griffin. Attention again, some big impact from him. You can really see that this is a battle of the Jets happening in a more low-key manner. We've seen some incredible plays from the initiators, from the controllers, from the sentinels, but still at the very top of the scoreboard, it's attention versus SK Rossi. And since we were teased a little bit there, that's why we could have gotten op versus op, attention versus SK Rossi, but Global Esports went for the risky play, blew up in their face, and for Griffin, it's easy pickings in more, I'd say, lopsided scenarios.
Yeah, Kappa just didn't get that good position he was hoping for. He was maybe expecting that no one was going to be checking him, because I think with the Cloudburst, he wasn't expecting anybody to cross, or maybe they were already at short. Whatever the case was, whatever the reason was, he thought that he could throw out his recon dart and get away without getting punished. So that was definitely a big lapse in terms of judgment. A big hurdle for them to walk over through. And now, looking into the purchases, yeah, they're going to have another hero battle for SK Rossi. They've done this multiple times already, and I don't know if it's done them too well, but it will be a commitment in that in terms of the creds for GES.
This might be time to believe again in the power of SK Rossi. It's getting dicey though here for Global Esports. They're the ones down the map. They're the ones seeing Griffin Esports already at double digits. So slower play right now from Griffin. They do not over engage when they know their opponent has that lesser buy, and instead the utilities come out to scout out for information. So you've got Bibi even faking it out. Lockdown is there, but the Hunter's Fury now is the call from Papa just to break it down, and he did not find it in the first place. So that space created here for Griffin. They can actually go for that A site now even more easier, because there was the full clock now winding down. Still though, Griffin here navigating towards C side instead as Ryan. Oh, Hellranger, this is gonna be very precious if he gets that takedown. Griffin though has made a sandwich out of the breach already.
He's hearing all the footsteps too. Maybe this garage position will actually work for Hellranger, but
oh no,
he ran!
Seconds left.
He made the footstep stacks!
He ran and he died.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. It does happen. He didn't expect Select to actually have lurked all the way, but that was the biggest reason as to why actually Griffin went back to C, because he did actually got the lurk. Freebie on the C side. Now Fung, he's blinded basically everybody. Golu, okay, he's actually good for the fight, but gets blinded from the back because Ace was actually already lurking right behind him, and Griffin, full control of this situation, only loses Fung in the end. They take a commanding lead in that round victory.
That round was a bit of a mess. You think they're gonna go one side or the other, and then eventually it does get the proper clear there for Griffin to go towards that C side. But it's really interesting how much space that lockdown actually bought, since it couldn't get the break there from Kappa. And as soon as that happens, Griffin's like, maybe we can go A. But then, okay, the lockdown's broken. Now they're going back to A. Now we can go to C, because our Killjoy is there in the first place. So we just went on a run here on Haven. And speaking of run, Griffin right now, can they run away with this game? Two more, and they move on to the next one. But SK Rossi will keep them chained to this matchup. Ace goes down, and that's minus smokes here for Griffin already.
Well, this hasn't stopped them before from trying to take into a sites, but it really does hamper a lot when you don't have that vision blocker, especially when you're up against GES that do so well with how they do reactionary shooting, especially with SK Rossi. That being said though, I do like how Griffin is just kind of forcing or compressing where their forces are, so they'll have more impact with lesser numbers. Golu timing on the peak actually gets a pick off, but does go for the 1-for-1 trade. Now Griffin, as they know that their spot is compromised, they're going to have to commit into this fight. A couple of flashes will not phase skills here, but they cannot plant, or else it will be quickly punished, as there still is that smoke criminal inside the back of the site.
Oh, he's been caught, he's been wanted and found. It was a great delay with the paranoia, but it's still Griffin strong arming their way towards the C side. Select gets on the board, and he finds the shot on SK Rossi at the end. What was that? Man, the shot, precision there from Griffin Esports. And now they're on match point here, Asarai.
That was last bullet, by the way, from Select. Oh, because Scales went out of the smoke. That's how he got spotted. Alright, check this out. He just reacts properly to Kappa there, and then... Oh, 2 bullets, mind you.
It's the
Still
Phantom,
work.
what do you expect? It just comes out that quickly. But case in point. On one tap, maybe two tap, who knows what, but it's still that precise, that courageous, the confidence, Asarai. You only have 2 bullets in the chamber, you're still willing to spray it down anyway? That's the Griffin way. And Global Esports, they're seeing yet again the spots that have basically given them problems all throughout the career. The SEA region is a struggle right now for Global Esports. And if they can't make this comeback happen for this second map, there will not be a third. Smoke does come out though. SK Rossi just trying to be sneaky here over onto the right. We also have Kappa coming in close. Seems like Global Esports, they want to make this as tight as possible. Rolling Thunder down with the connection, but it's still Global who can't get the peek out whatsoever. Kappa with a few shot darts. Reconnaissance is there though, but the guideline is the answer. And the scramble is here, but SK Rossi finally with the first kill in this round. Asarai Ace goes down.
His long lurk has been paid for. They've left attention actually to fend off for himself somewhere on the attacker's spawn, as the rest of the Griffin squad were already looking for a C, but the timing on skills as he pushes out with the paranoia actually dissuades them from committing to this fight once longer.
left.
And as he puts down the smoke here, they're going to come into the site well and blind. It does dissipate quickly enough. Golu's going to be there on the catch. And they do have, thankfully, Bum with his ultimate to at least clear out the rest. Skill still denies any fact of being able to cross their garage. Finally pits him down. But this would mean that it's all up to attention and how well he can save up Subat BB from getting knocked off as the rest of GES comes in barreling, waterfalling into the site. It's not going to work. Global, they're still here. They're still here in the game.
Hanging on, and they did that in quite convincing fashion. On a little 50-50 in all honesty by some of their earlier plays here. We do have them contesting A lobby with ultimates to force out maybe some rotations, to force out a bit of panic, but I'm still looking for the kills to have to be capitalized on. Where are the combos after that? It's Griffin, yes, fending them off with those utilities, but if Global's gonna be committing a lot early on, then they better get some results for it. But in that round, SK Rossi did get the takedown, and it just cascaded from there as soon as the C retake was upon us. Teleport though, here for Griffin, and one more try towards that A site.
Slowly but surely, whoever Shirley is, try to look to charge in onto this one. No ultimates, all about that hard contact. They have a plethora of flashes to throw as they want to do so. Kappa is holding the very close angle here, but Griffin sniffs out nothing, gets nothing. They decide to maybe just hold the fort first and back away. That smoke from Skills and the recon dart actually working in tandem to cancel each other out, interestingly enough. But at least it still does dissuade Griffin from just charging in. 45 seconds on the timer.
That's a different kind of chemistry there, my friend. And hey, okay, Global now over here by a site. Kappa looking to hug the corner as much as possible. Could have actually got the shot on attention. He
30
wasn't
seconds
paying
left.
attention, looking at his teammate. But instead, it's time for them to try and bait things out. And over on the right-hand side, Kappa is awaiting. Finally gets the kill. On to attention to start things off. Sufat maybe the win the operator, but Golu only needs the Bulldog to get to. Seeker's there to make some noise. Sufat gets the classic out. It's 3v2 now as we get onside. Skills there with a takedown on the Ace. It's all up to Sufat 50 with only 8 seconds left. And it's still gonna be more kills for this guy.
No way.
4 already. And Hellranger. Please, the patience to stay in the corner and to stay alive. What could have been a complete collapse of Global Esports is held off by the patience of Hellranger. It's 12-10 right now, Asarai.
Oh, they're holding on little by little, bit by bit, but it is just so unstable right now how Global Esports are winning. But as you mentioned, man, they have specialized
seconds left.
teammates, not SK Rossi and Hellranger, that can make this work. It's Golu and Skills that somehow managed to win out certain rounds in the end. That was Hellranger at that time. Maybe everybody can from GS can now participate in the singular player clutches.
Everyone gets something, get a highlight or whatnot. It's just so breathtaking, and not really in the best way here for Global. You can feel the tension. It's always a situation where it looks absolutely dicey, and good on them to find the clutch. They're still not done and getting these rounds. Not only that, Griffin now have the rifles here fully kitted for the whole squad. Trailblazer, also bothering a few of the utilities, getting that info. Griffin, they've seen this before, and what we've noticed from the squad is whenever they're not completely sure of the site, they're willing to be earlier on the rotate. Problem is though, for the past few rounds, Asarai, they have been taking their sweet time, and it's been pressure on their side instead.
Well, they might need to try to go ecstatic and fast onto the side here. Attention gets caught up by the wall as he charges right in onto the B site. Got to be careful with this one. Thankfully, there is no Hunter Spirit for Capo, but look at how GFN just escaped the site. Want to go and rotate around for C here, but Global just don't look phased at all. Again, the paranoia is so good that they're getting caught in the mix. And now it's all left to Select, but I mean, he's on an island. It's a 1 versus 5. There's no time. Save the weapon and save it into the next round.
Yeah, this is not the right call for Griffin. They're falling too much in their own tendencies. Global Esports, we've seen it from this roster, especially on a 3-site map like Haven. They're willing to go for that B retake. They love to play the range over by the links. They use their utilities to get it back anyway. And if you're going to be running towards that C site as Select catches out Golu, then you're going to meet defenders who are still prepared for you in the first place. So this is it. It's either match points or overtime points. Will we get more from this series between Global Esports and Griffin Esports?
It seemingly is looking that way. Global Esports now looking much solid compared to a couple of rounds ago. Nay, a couple of that last game ago as well. We'll see how this pans, but just checking out the hardware first. Dax.
Spike drop.
Select does have the lockdown.
You should run.
CFAT 2 away from his Seekers. Select here, he's kind of coaxing somebody to push through the smoke, but that's not going to work. Lockdown is the perfect answer to such an ultimate, and that does not, again, phase Global Esports whatsoever.
Yeah, Smile will hold the line. SK Rossi misses the shot though. He needs to hit it, but it's Ace instead who slaps him back. Now Griffin, this is a perfect opportunity without the star duelist on the other side to navigate themselves towards this A site. Flashless come though to slow them down. Fung here as the rest of the crew. They get blinded just a little bit. This is now the bolt line into play. Griffin getting the kills that they need. It's 4v1 now. All left the skills. But Hongo Taiwan, they're making a name for themselves here. Skills with one. Gets the second, but attention again. Commanding it and giving the victory to Griffin Esports. They fly to the next round in a 2-0 fashion versus Global Esports.
That's going to be a very convincing last round for Griffin here. It took them a bit longer. They didn't know what they had to do in the past couple. It felt like they were trying to overcompensate for things. We saw that one round before we were put into the almost overtime, where they pushed into the B site, but then started backing away when Global Esports started throwing out utilities, and they just kind of feared it and went all the way to C, where they didn't even see a single player of Global Esports in the back of B. So that was kind of awkward. And now I think they just took a breath, tried to figure out where it was, and they spotted out SK Rossi. He could have hit the first shot. That was, I think, the best thing for him to have made the impact flow, but because he doubled down, he got flushed out by the fault line and pre-fired to heck by Ace, who was just looking at his own direction, and that, as you mentioned, was the start of the downfall there for Global.
You know, sometimes the best answer is the simplest one. And Griffin finally stopped double back, stopped rotating, and they just went at it. It's a big indicator that you can make this push work if you kill SK Rossi on the Global Esports side. And you can see it here, Wire Select though, 26 takedowns, attention. There was so much impact from this jet. And it really was just a mechanical showcase from Griffin Esports. Many a time, some amazing plays from Ace and Sufat BB Fung, of course, setting things up as much as possible. But you gotta give props to Global Esports for at least adjusting in the second map. It didn't give them that victory, and still the SCA struggles to continue. It's a bit worrying right now that for Global Esports, this is not really a roster that they face off against, a region they face off against, that H8 Taiwan side of Griffin Esports. But they also know that they don't have those results against the more renowned regions, or the more known regions rather, compared to who they face off right now. So really, Global Esports, if they want to bounce back tomorrow, they really need to rethink a lot of their plans right now and their execution, because when it came down to it, you can see it here in the highlights, it's Griffin who were absolutely precise on the shots.
I gotta say, I'm presently surprised about this Griffin roster. We saw them like earlier last year or even late last year do, I think, with a lukewarm reception. You know, they were well enough, but not good enough that they could have beaten the other top teams that were playing in APAC LCQ. But I do now remember that Sifat BB was one of the players that really stood out the most. He was, I believe, playing duelists at that point, but he's kind of played or has adjusted nicely into his own role as, I'd say, as flex player, and it shows us to how well it works because he's just such a crack aim. Like, his spray transfers have been absolutely insane in this game.
And maybe there's just less pressure now. Him having that utility advantage many of the times, that's where he just finds those moments. And sometimes he can be a crack shot, true, but you can't play that entry as well as you would like. So being that second wave, they're just these moments. For Griffin, we always question maybe what kind of configuration we're gonna get. But in terms of the roles, in terms of who's going first, who's going second, they understand that so well. They know who to allow to be the tip of the spear, who's gonna be playing clutch moments like this as close as possible. And as close as possible. And it's just a different kind of artwork, to say the least, about Griffin Esports, but it's something we have to appreciate, and it really proves that for the HK Taiwan side, we don't get the results, yes, but we see how amazing their shots can be.
Yeah. Again, Taiwan and Hong Kong as a region, you think that Korea was one of the other countries or other regions out there that are ingrained with esports? Well, these two regions as well are very much ingrained with gaming and esports themselves. I was just stapled with like multiple games, dude. It's crazy. So they really do love and have that intertwined with their culture, and it shows. You know, they really have adapted as well here in Valorant esports. With that being said, guys, that concludes the last series of the day. We're gonna leave you with the panel after we come from the break. So guys, don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere. Bagi kanan na niya bro. Don't go anywhere.
Flex on the lean. I just wanna rap to the beat. I just wanna back, cause I'm mean. I just gotta go back, I'm a freak. Gotta go. I just wanna rap to the beat.
Move of emotion, they drunk at their problems. They always on road and they stuck. She knows cause she is the same. She's trying to stop playing games. Move of emotion, they drunk at their problems. They always on road and they stuck. She knows cause she is the same. She's trying to stop playing games. Where the people at, what they really want to know. Who's your lovers and who are your bros? Who are the enemies you do keep close? Who are the people that you shouldn't know? Where the people at, what they really want to know. Who's your lovers and who are your bros? Who are the enemies you do keep close? Who are the people that you shouldn't know?
I just gotta flex on the.
Match found.
Cool. Let's go.
Oh, you can hear me.
No.
Sky, ever thought about making other summons? Like, lions. Or, oh, dragons.
Tried once. It was not pretty.
Now I will speak. Yes. The eh,
Enemies in attacker spawn.
shit.
One dead.
Shit.
One enemy remaining. Spike down A.
Might come from our spawn, my friends.
Yes, my friend.
Yes, my friend, yes.
You are my friend.
My friend, this jet sucks.
Yeah, man.
Just gotta play around the slow fields, and we're fine.
Fuck you, my friend.
Oh, my friend, no, make love. Love you, yes.
Fuck you, my friend. Fuck you.
My friend, I'm sorry, I don't understand you.
I came.
My friend, Rez is having an orgasm, you know?
You fucking Putin shit. You destroying the Ukraine in the world.
Mate.
Fuck. One is here.
Satchel out.
My friend, what is that mod?
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
My
Man,
kills.
my...
What is here?
Oh my god, man, you...
Let's pull them over.
Fucking shit.
78. Jet. 78. Raise.
Sky, can you give me place?
Okay, my friend, go pick.
Don't
Thank you,
try
yes.
to, my friend.
Hi. Hi. I will doggy. My friend, I will doggy, wait. Yes, sir.
Scout destroyed.
Flashing?
130. Jet.
Oh no, my friend.
Last player standing. Spike planted.
Oh no,
Flawless.
why are you guys dying?
This jet sucks.
You suck, you bloody.
I know, right? He
What we're
sucks.
doing? Trust each other and
I didn't got the chance to kill them.
You missed 3 shots, you sucker.
I don't suck then. You are guys that suck.
Ow. Yeah. Jet, you were hunting how much?
Echo, my friend. Bent one. Spotted! Oh my god, I'm there!
Spike planted. Cutting their vision.
There.
Stealing sight. You're done.
Why? You suck now, my friend. You suck.
Last player standing.
Plant nest. Nest. You can
One
up
enemy
nest,
remaining.
nest. Right nest. Up.
When they all on top of the tree, bro. Mother.
Oh my god, my friend. Andy.
I'm telling you, he's there.
Nice
Okay,
try,
I
much
only
better
have like
Try, bro.
78
Much better
grenades
than this
left.
fucking noob
Hopefully
Rena.
that's enough.
Oh my god. Bottom fragger jet.
Nah, I'll come above. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Fucking bottom fragger.
Look at this round.
Yeah, I'm looking at this round. You're gonna show me new ways to die?
Fuck you, lah. Fuck you.
Fuck. Oh yeah? Oh yeah?
What?
Ew.
What?
Wait, two. Tide is coming.
He is on top. He TP'd. He TP'd on top of the fish.
Oh, the top of the.
Ah! Kill him, Sky!
Reloading.
Spike planted.
Done.
Reloading.
Reload, motherfucker.
Hawk out. Blocking sight.
Last player standing.
Why
My
did you
friend,
check
he is
it, my
120.
friend?
Here with my copy.
Ult.
Gun down, gun down.
Where is that?
Phantom, phantom.
Take
Here.
the gun.
Satchel out.
You're running.
Satchel out.
Yeah, look.
You think we can
Sage 195.
but you
अरे
suck.
तभी अल्ट खोल के जाता था ना येलो वाले को मार देता.
I got your backs. Just, you know, from the front.
He has very small brain, you know?
Yeah, man.
Yes,
He is
yes,
very
yes.
slow.
Just
Yes.
like
Can't hear
He's
you
jet
all one
lagged.
Lol.
And I'm jet.
you're not jet, you're giant.
I
But
am
that
jet.
is not.
यार अटक रहे यार.
We got a giant.
Bro, who are you flashing?
Fire in the hole.
Close आगे left. Told you that.
Jet, you fucking suck, bro. Can't even kill this
I
shit.
told you one left.
He's a fucking noob, bro.
I told you left.
Spike planted.
I called it.
Carl.
I
Nice
called
Carl.
it. On me. Under.
Under what, my friend?
Under balk. Under rafter.
Oh, no, no, no.
Last player
Only
standing.
one under rafter. Still you die.
Can't
like-
hear you all. How many times should I tell?
Increase, my friend, increase the volume of our, what do you call it? I'm brain dead, pronounce.
Oh my god. He sucks, bro.
That is calculated.
That is so fucking noob.
Oh!
Like,
Oh! Well played, well played. Shut up. Don't speak, don't speak. We saw that.
Bro, the spike
fucking
is.
noob.
Shut up, shut up.
Don't
We saw-
do bro,
we saw-
bro.
we saw-
Don't do bro, bro. Fucking retard. Bro.
Call that a
learned to
nice
think from-
try, please. That was
I've
a
learned
nice
to
try.
think
You know
from
that.
that.
Come on, guys. Let's win one match at least. I'm having a red carpet.
One B.
Sheesh. Nice.
Spike down A. Spike planted.
Bro, Sky.
Oh man.
Bro, Sky.
What are you doing, guys? Where are you?
Ulti Sky. Don't ult now. You're wasted.
Don't done. Yeah. Waste done.
Last player standing.
Hey, reach the bottom side. Move to the bottom side.
You.
How?
These nuts.
I am blind. Ion.
I'm gonna stay this time. Don't forget that, please. Enemy spotted mid.
Wow.
Take it out. Heal up, squad.
Jet. Hello, Jet.
Spike planted.
Oh my God, Jet.
Last player standing.
Oh my god, I was
They're just batteries.
Don't make me try hard, guys. Don't make me try hard, please. I don't wanna try hard.
You are already try
You are
hard.
already try harding, bro.
Not, bro. I'm not even trying.
We know.
Yeah, we can see that.
Oh my god, let me show you something.
You're gonna die with 0 kills again.
That's what you do all around. Why? I mean, why?
I got one tapped. So sorry.
Wow, blah, blah, blah.
Why?
Multiple enemies made.
My friend, kitchen, Lena behind you.
Oh, yeah, Jet!
Last player standing.
Jet?
I got lag.
Jet? Hello?
You all died on 0 kill.
अरे यार lag हो रहा है.
Paint? Check. Charges?
ये
Check.
30 server.
Fucking retard.
अभी शायद DC.
My friend, you have the lowest players in this match.
Bro, since yesterday we are getting DC'd on this server.
Said.
Server is shit.
Server is not shit. You are shit, my friend.
Yeah, that is all.
Server is
That
fine.
race breaks one
Fuck you, la, then. Fuck you, la.
Ooh la la, very hot.
So one B.
here.
Wait. I'm pushing B.
Enemy spotted A.
Don't hit him. Wait.
103 Jet. 100.
I'll kill Jet.
Here goes the party.
There's a bug behind you.
Last player standing.
At least I got a kill.
Wow.
Okay, give me a proper gun.
Congratulations, bro. Congratulations on your kill.
Yeah, let's play now.
You know, our race is plat too, but he is bottom. I mean, troll.
Me throw. What is happening? Me throw playing on.
Point and break it.
Can you guys not die in mid?
Yes, Viper, you.
Enemy spotted mid.
Ah,
Oh,
Right?
One raise, raise,
You
raise.
will not kill my allies!
Oh no, my friend. Wait. 105 Sage.
Last player standing.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Last round before the switch.
Please just fight, guys. I don't want to waste my time on you guys.
Just surrender, just surrender.
Yes, sir, legend.
Need a drop.
That was a race. It was no.
No, I surrendered.
Why would you take the vote to?
Oh, then I don't know. Maybe Reina, because me and Race.
What? Ah, you see?
This is not my account. Why will I
My
surrender?
God, this guy is so fucking pussy, bro.
Keep up.
Pussy, pussy, fucking pussy, pussy, pussy.
Get out of my way!
Sky unit pussy.
Hey,
Nice shot. In the smoke, in the smoke, in the smoke. Push him, push him.
You should run.
Nice. Come back, come back.
Hawk out!
Open your run, open
Blinded.
your run. No, use your run for retake. Use your run for retake. Planting A, planting A.
Seek them out!
Spike planted.
Found one.
Upper, upper, and upper cage.
One enemy remaining.
Found one.
Up, 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 bed, bed, bed. You can defuse. Stick.
Oh.
Here.
Upper A. Take off, take off, take off. Last round, take off.
Stop. Mate.
Take off, but I won't give you, so don't get excited.
Bro, that's a half, please.
Switching
I
sides.
know my game.
3-9 cards. Let's go. Let's win now.
Don't even want to try, bro.
No. Try.
Try till you succeed.
Yes.
Try it, then try,
You
but
all,
don't cry.
you all suck, bro. I don't want to make you guys win.
Top fragging, by the way.
Because I'm not trying, that's why.
Yes. That's what she said.
Wait, okay. I'll top frag, then I won't play. Let me show you guys.
Okay, my friend.
Lol.
Okay, wait for it.
How to make people try hard.
No, wait for it. Let me top frag first. Then.
Behind yellow.
Plant the spike.
Plant it. Oh my god.
Last
Backstab.
player standing.
One backstab, one snowman. Oh no. Someone come with me. Someone at least.
and why are you going alone then? Stay with the team.
Have the spike.
100.
Minus how much?
100.
Nice. Viper is playing with the team, right?
Man, Jet, are you blind? He is, of course, playing with the team.
Spike down A. I have the spike. One enemy remaining.
Last. Close right circle.
Last player standing. Spike down A.
I heard
बोल के भी
close
मरता
right
है,
side.
छी।
not left.
बस। GG guys, GG.
Ears still ringing.
In the yellow guy, come on. Come be.
Help a girl out. Gun here.
Stay safe.
Yellow, yellow. Dead.
Stay down.
Heal.
Reloading.
Gun.
One mid. Just outrust mid.
Get
Reloading.
backstab. One snowman.
Yeah, I'm holding back.
Reloading.
130, 130. KJ 130, how can you die to him?
Last player standing.
Wow.
Guys, GG.
Match point.
This guy sucks. This guy sucks dick. This guy sucks cages dick.
Let me take a ace first. Stay at spawn, I'll take ace. Don't worry. Don't worry about that.
Nice. Anything else, sir?
Spike dropped. I got the spike. Enemy spotted A. One less. Enemy
Heal.
spotted A.
You should run.
I'll kill this.
Ooh.
I'll kill it.
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
See, that's how we should play.
You're terrible.
Like
Yeah.
me.
My new girl, she a movie star.
हर राउंड लास्ट राउंड रश करेंगे हर राउंड आई गेट सम पिक्स
हर राउंड
Get
लास्ट
out of my way.
हर राउंड लास्ट मिनट पे रश
Jet is pushing.
Enemy spotted A.
राइट केजे ऑन द राइट
Jet's grounded.
केजे राइट है बोल रहा हूँ मार रहे स्काई अंडर यू
Last player standing.
यू जीजी
Fire in the hole!
Ay, corazón.
both outside है
Still in sight.
nice है
Cutting their vision. Defenders win.
Start time.
Fuck you, motherfucker.
Fuck you asshole.
Shut up, bottom.
क्या आ जाते हैं तो खेल रहा है
Match found.
Reina, there are better ways to survive than your path.
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
Is Pizzle Lemons what's this? Sejil.
Satchel out. Satchel out. Healing you.
One enemy remaining. Spike down B. Flawless.
Ah, meus amores, we live another day.
Spike down B.
Enemy spotted. Mid. Here.
One enemy remaining. Spike down B. Thirty seconds left. Team Ace.
Phenomenal. We train. Get him. Satchel out. Here comes the party.
One enemy remaining.
No!
I know what must be done.
Give me river la.
Does anyone have funds? Merci.
Can someone get this? Thank you.
B.
Spike down B.
Come Riz. Sage, come push.
Joke's over! You're dead!
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
Ah, now that was a work of art. Prepare yourselves. We fight once again. Let's make some chaos. Somebody out. Nightmare's over.
Help me, Rena!
Safe.
One more. Right.
One enemy remaining. Spike down A.
I don't die so easily. Stand tall. We are Valorant. We are fighters.
It's okay. He could have given me at least flash. एक भी किल ले रहता ना मैं तो गाली देने वाला था
Go get him.
One enemy remaining. Spike down B.
Really that loud?
Spike is B.
We're good batteries. I need a recharge.
I can buy.
Need a drop. Can someone get this? Thank you. Forward.
Fire in the hole! Somebody out.
Enemy A.
Spike down A.
Satchel out. Here comes the party!
One enemy remaining.
Obliterated!
Please take my up.
Outside vents.
Deep breaths, everyone. Your hearts are pounding.
Anyone have prime mandal?
Chamber, give me a river. River.
Does anyone have funds? Merci.
For you, Hermanita.
Wall raised. Satchel out.
Nowhere to run!
Third B.
Joke's over! You're dead!
Bomb buddy out.
Not your best.
They will cower.
Headshot.
दोनों सिटी.
Last player standing.
Look your enemy in the eye. It helps with accuracy.
Guys, I'm opening B. Hopping B.
Okay.
रोज आ गया. कोई तो खेलो मेरे साथ. क्या
Cover going out.
खेल रहे हो हर राउंड.
ब्रो मैं बोल दिया था मैं बी ऑफ कर रहा हूँ.
तो एक जन आ जाता इधर. क्या कैसे खेल रहे हो?
Spike planted.
सिटी है. ऊपर वेंट से.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Don't rush me.
यार ऐसे मत करो यार.
If you are not doing well, keep trying. We must.
गाइस मैं फिर से बी ऑफ कर रहा हूँ.
तो रहना एफ पे था तो सोचो ना थोड़ा. समझो थोड़ा. लेफ्ट गया टूअर साइड.
Bomb buddy out.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
2 मिनट.
Removed.
You will not kill my ally.
Last round in the half.
Spend those creds before we lose them.
इधर ही रुक. साइड घुसने दो. रेस घुस के आ रहा है. रैम्स आ रहा है. चढ़ रहा है सीधा. मेरे साथ रुका रहना. आ रहा है. रैम्स देखता रहे.
एक साइड देखो मैं.
heaven.
Spike down A. One enemy remaining.
Enemy A.
Upper elbow.
Go get him.
Switching sides.
Reloading.
If one link breaks, the rest will follow.
Reloading. 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 We go.
Wait for my nade.
Cover going out. Shadows traveling.
Reloading.
Smoke खत्म होने में उसके बाद
Reloading.
दो पीछे
वेट करना पीछे
इस साइड
Last player standing. Spike down B.
That's a good spot.
Nice. Anti ray.
Let us see what they have planned for us this time. I need this.
पुश मत करना ए पे वो रिकॉन देता है फिर
मिड वॉल कर रहा है क्या?
Have a good time out there.
काउंटर वॉल करो क्या? आ जाओ सब। रुक जा थोड़ा रुक जा।
Shadows traveling.
आगे सामने आ गया। जस्ट इधर है। एक साथ जाते हैं। रेस भी आ जा। हो जा। देख तो।
ए रुको मिड मेरे वेट भाई
Last player standing. Spike down mid.
So close.
अबे उधर करो।
Even with numbers, anything can still happen. Remember that.
ये आओ। कोई लर पर पॉज करो। इधर आओ। सब ये आओ। नहीं आना भाई मेरे तेरे स्मोक्स चाहिए कि नहीं हमको?
अरे सुनो वो यहाँ पे रिकॉन देता है वो तोड़ो
एक ही जन तोड़ो वो सब लोग
तोड़ो मत।
ठीक है क्या
तो फिर हाइड रहो ना गाइस
Cover going out.
हां रुक जा अभी
Satchel out.
शॉक डाट आएगा I told ya
ड्रोन
उधर ही खड़ा है मार हील
नो हील
तो
बैक से बैक
Imposter kill.
हाइड्र रुक जा मेरे पे और एक है
Spike down A.
Reloading.
दोनों इधर चल भी चल
I have the spike.
चल 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 दोनों इधर
चला जा बस
दोनों ले रहेगा शायद भगवान जाने तू विमेन खेल इधर ही रुक
30 seconds left.
Spike planted.
आ गया हेवन आ गया टैग और लो मत भिड़
One enemy remaining.
हेलो
Nice.
लो यार
क्रॉस हुआ
Last player standing.
नाइस राउंड यार हो गया था
Spike.
I think we need a spike.
मिड वॉल तोड़ो मिड में प्रेजेंस दिखा के अपन ए जाएंगे सुवर से फिनिक्स गया पीछे गया
Bomb बढ़िया.
हट रेस
Healing.
हट
बीजा
Joke's over!
और एक सिटी ऑफर
Trap destroyed.
सिटी ऑफर
Spike down B.
एक वॉल
कवर में रखो
सिटी ऑफर
ब्रो क्रॉसिंग के मार
स्मोक डाल अरे स्मोक डाल तेरी भेज यार
देख
I have the spike.
30 seconds left.
20 सेकंड है इधर ही प्लान करना पड़ेगा
10 seconds left.
Spike planted. Teleport's ready. Teleport's broken.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Nice.
Did you see their faces?
क्या काम
Sorry, I should not laugh.
Thank you.
रिवर देना रिवर दे
Does anyone have fun? Merci.
रुक जा ले ये लो
तो भाई ड्रॉप करेगा
अरे
या मेरा नेट गया
मेरा भी
नहीं मैं तो उठा पा रहा हूँ गन
मैं तो नहीं ड्रॉप कर पा रहा हूँ क्या बात
Cover going out. Shadows traveling.
Reloading. Reloading. Bomb buddy out. Satchel out. Satchel out.
साइड स्मोक है हेवन
साइड
दो हेवन
एल्बो नॉट क्लियर
कोई नहीं है कोई नहीं है दो हेवन है
Nowhere to run!
तीनों हेवन
30 seconds left. One enemy remaining.
I would apologize to them, but alas, they are dead.
कितना आरएनजी करते हैं
वही तो भाई कितना अरेंज कर रहा हो
Match point.
Reloading. Party's over. Let's show them out.
रिवर दे ना रिवर दे
Can someone get thank you?
Let's make them dance.
रुक जा बम बट छोड़ने दो टिक मत लो
Go get him.
नाइस
They will cover! Reloading.
सिटी ओके
पासिंग है
एक हेवन था
Enemy spotted. B.
One enemy remaining.
सिटी ला
Healing you.
लेफ्ट साइड
Attackers win.
Now to mend what we have broken.
सिल्वर पे तरी बस हो गया भाई आज के लिए बस इतना ही कल फिर मिलेंगे इसी समय इसी जगह